So, and the other thing that you might be curious about, when Mally mentions the company that holds the PFI contract in mid-Yorkshire, the company that holds the Calderdale contract is a company called Lend-Lease, which is also an offshore tax haven. And the only piece of work that Lend-Lease has done over the last 12 months that I can see is themselves to carry out a report into the viability of the structure of Huddersfield Royal Infirmary. And do you know what their conclusion was? That we've got something that none of us have ever heard before called concrete cancer. And that, it seems, can justify its closure. So, as you can imagine, we've quite a lot to say about concrete cancer. Anyway, so, is there anybody that would like to... Yes, Mark Andrassi, I think you're part of this campaign.
I am part of this campaign. But I just want, following on from the last speaker, I just want to make a couple of points because I work in Dewsbury at a care home, 2 minutes walk from the hospital. I've had reason to go to the hospital quite a bit recently because my dad's been there. And this is all anecdotal, but I think it shows the state we're in and why we've got to fight. I went to see my dad there in, what's it called? Bronte Tower, and it struck me. You go up in the lift and there's masking tape on 2 of the floors, hastily written, exclamation mark, ward closed. Under that, ward closed, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. I think it's gallows humour really, but I just thought this is a sign that the whole place is being run down. Now, 3 things happened this week that just made me think, what a mess we're in. The first one was one of the residents fell. He had to be rushed into hospital. Remember I said it's 2 minutes walk from Dewsbury Hospital. He couldn't go there. There wasn't any room. He had to go to Pinderfields or Huddersfield. Luckily his daughter kicked up a fuss and he was taken to Dewsbury. There's a tragic incident a couple of days later where the M62 was closed as I was going to work and it turned out someone had jumped off a bridge. It's tragic that people are so desperately do this. But mental health, what's the state of mental health services? But what was noticeable for me is when that morning I talked to the woman at the checkout at Sainsbury's in Dewsbury. We were talking about that, and the first thing she said, it's not surprising, is it, the way people are treated. It's in our consciousness. We're not even surprised when someone takes their own lives because of the way working class people are treated in the country, with benefits cut and starving of funds and the NHS being cut. And the third instance which got me, my colleague today on the way to work bumped into a nurse at Dewsbury Hospital, and she said she's desperate. She said that the nurses there are absolutely desperate. She's being sent from one ward to the next ward to the next ward. They don't know what they're doing from 1 minute to the next. She said the whole thing is being run down. We know the downgrading of the A&E is imminent. And she said, and they've just been told today that Pinderfields is full now, and they're taking all the staff from there. This is absolute chaos. And just shows to me why we've got to keep up the fight. I think we absolutely should follow Thelma's call and go down to London and see Jeremy Hunt. I also think we should follow the call from the person over here who said on the 2nd of October, if he won't come to us, if the Tories are in Manchester for their conference, we should join the hundreds and thousands of people who are going to be over there and take our campaign to Manchester and take it to their doorstep as well. Let's carry on.
Thank you, Mac, who is the resident artist for our campaign, and a wonderful speech. Yes?
I have a question. But first, thank you very much to all the panellists and speakers for your continued passion and commitment. It's very impressive. So thank you.
And all these good people here.
But especially the people who put in so much time. Now, is there any mileage in raising all our concerns across the district with the help of Select Committee in order to get more publicity for our concerns for the region? Through Dr. Sarah Williston, if she's still chair, I don't know.
Yes, Yes, yeah, well, certainly we're looking at cross-party. I am actually on the APPG for health. I had my first meeting before recess. So I will have a voice on that group. And the link and liaison over mental health in particular with Dr. Sarah Wollaston is already on the agenda. But certainly, don't you worry, I will have a voice there on behalf of our local people and what's happening. And not just there. As I say, I keep continually talking and meeting with Jonathan Ashworth, and certainly the Labour Party have a very good idea from the 4 MPs, not just myself, but the 4 Labour MPs in Kirklees, about what's happening or what's being threatened to happen. So, yeah, thank you for the question, but I certainly will be the voice down there along with my 3 colleague MPs.
Thank you. Is there anybody else? Yes, the young man down here.
So yes, about the NHS, just to clear up before...
Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes. I am Joshua Smith. I am part of the Hands Up HRI campaign. I've been part of the campaign for about 3 or 4 months now, but it's been an extraordinary 3 or 4 months, to say the least. The amount of events we've done, the amount of news and publicity we've gotten is absolutely incredible, and it couldn't be done without all of your support. So first of all, thank you, not just to those of the campaigners, but for everybody in this room and everybody who's ever supported our campaign for getting us to where we are now. Thank you. And secondly, just to clear the air, yes, I do have one arm, so I think I'm very much aware of how certain aspects of the NHS are treated. Just to sort of talk about, as well as Dewsbury and HRI, stuff that's happening in Leeds Hospital as well. Since I'm a Batley resident, I go to Leeds whenever I go for prosthetics. And I've been doing this for years, you know, back when I was younger doing it, it was no fuss, gone on for free, in and out, no problem. But now, when I'm going in, even for nothing complicated, no advanced robotics, no Terminator-like prosthetics, just simple, straightforward plastic, there's even worries. They're saying that eventually people might have to start paying for prosthetics. Paying for them. I didn't choose to be born without one arm. I shouldn't have to pay to have equal opportunities the same as other people. And that's why it's not just local hospitals, like whether it's Leeds, whether it's Dewsbury, whether it's HRI. It's all over the country. I don't just want to protect the prosthetics for myself, but for all other people out there. There's people out there that are way worse off than me. I've been lucky. I've been very, very lucky with the circumstances that I've been given in terms of my disability. But there's people out there who can't even leave the house. And yet not only are they not getting the care, apparently they're fit for work, according to the Conservatives. It's absolutely appalling. And that's why we need to continue the fight, not just here, but like I say, if Jeremy Hunt will not show his face here, we will go to Parliament and we will show all of our faces. But he can't close his ears for the chant of people going, "Who's NHS? NHS!" And let's remember that when we go to London. Thank you.
It's true, Josh joined us on the Trades Council demo in March, and we've not been able to shake him off since. And 2 things. One, Josh has just turned 17 and he's an amazing public speaker. And secondly, he'll challenge anybody to an arm wrestle with his hands. And I guarantee you'll lose. Our last speaker from the floor before we listen to you.
Hi, my name is Julie Hughes. I want to say that I was a nurse before I was ever in a wheelchair. So I know what it's like from both sides. But I was in A&E. My husband had to take me at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was there until after 10 before I was seen, because they didn't have an A&E doctor. So they're already winding it down. They're hoping the people that attend A&E and have to wait longer than the extended time, that they'll give up and go to Calderdale or their own free will, and then they can turn around and say, they don't need an A&E. So I get so cross. I know how important our NHS is, And I know it's been wound down for decades, not just a few years. And we're absolutely gobsmacked. I made a phone call to Lacala to find out how many services, NHS services, Lacala has got now. You know, I mean, they have one dentist, so patients are having to wait. I mean, I had to put up with toothache for 12 months. You know, and I never thought in my life I would have to do that. And it's just not good enough because they're just killing it and have been for decades. Is there anything really that can be brought to save it? Because I know it was talked out of Parliament. Sort of a last ditch attempt to take it back to the way it used to be, the way it should be.
Thank you, Julie. Thelma, do you want to quickly?
Well, just the commitment from Labour to scrap the STPs and return us to a publicly funded, fairly funded NHS. That's the pledge for Labour, and that's what, you know, that's what we want. Yeah. I think we should be clear that Labour are aware that there needs to be change because medicine's changed, the way we care for people and treat people has changed. And I think, you know, in scrapping the STPs, there will be a full consultation, but it will be a, you know, an honest consultation, and, you know, people will feel as if they have been listened to. But it will be about funding, bringing it back into our hands, and it will be our NHS. And that's the pledge from Labour, and that's what we will do.